Hi, I'm Odin from Guyođ, from Austria. I'm the singer, uh, and mostly the ceremony man.
Thanks for the invitation, man. I'm Dorn. I'm the guitarist in the band. I do a little bit of backing vocals on stage and um, do songwriting and stuff like that. But mainly, guitar player. That's who I am.
In the pre-interview, we basically just talked about your name of the band, and because I was a bit stressed, I was a bit concerned. I'm like, oh, I hope I got the name right, and you guys are like, well, pretty much it's open to interpretation. So this is what got me a bit drawn into this name. So just give us the how the name came about and how people interpret the name and how you guys, you know what you want the band to represent with that name, I guess.
The name came with the concept that we follow. We are a band that everything that we do, everything that we create, like the music and the lyrics, are inspired by the ocean or are themed around the ocean, about the ocean's waves. And when the band came together, the someone stumbled upon the term of Guyođ, I think. It's spelled like your band name, but with a T at the end. And that's basically an underwater volcano that has died and it's been flattened by the tides to a seamount, basically. And we thought it sounds massive and sounded like a cool band name, but we changed the spelling, changed the T to a D with the little dash up there to make it unique. That's basically where the name comes from, but there's also not a fixed pronunciation, as we already said before. So there are people who call us Guyođ or Guyođ or Guyođ or Guyođ, whatever suits you is fine.
Especially in the Slavic countries, they call us Guyođ because of the D is pronounced like a J in Croatia, for example.
Yeah, because when I read it, I'm like Guyođ or Guyođ, and but I saw the D there, and I'm like, I like it because it had a mystery to it, and I like when there's mystery in a metal band, and what they do with their music. So yeah, I was really drawn with it, and the music as well, because you guys have just released your EP, which is called The Death Throes of a Drowning God. I'm going to talk about it more in depth as we go in with this interview. But how's the response been from your fans and from the metal underground in Europe and all the feedback that you've had? Have you guys been happy with the response?
Yeah, absolutely. So far, I mean, the release of the EP has been that was 2 days ago. I mean, our two time zones are really far apart, so maybe in in Australia it's already 3 days ago, whatever. But yeah, responses have been good. I just did a social media post this morning, like collecting a few snippets from reviews that we got from small magazines or webzines, and yeah, it's been really good so far. But it's just been a short time, as I said, 2 days. So
what I pretty much like about the EP, I think I like the EP itself. It does have it does have like a story to it, because there's the signal tracks that go in and they added the mystery. And then when I dived in and then I look at the art, the concept of the artwork concept, I basically, saw, okay, there's the ocean, signals. It sounds like, all right, cool, like there's chaos, there's mankind, or like they've put in between, there's something's going on, there's something dark and chaos, there's kind of a mystery to it. So, basically, with that, how I looked at the album, the EP, I really liked how the lyricals that came in. So, you've done a good job, Origin, with the lyrics. So I guess with the mechanic of this EP, how did you guys wanted it to be the way it's been produced and the way it's been written and the song, like the theme and the concept, compared to your last record, which was Heart of the Abyss?
Yeah, I don't really know what to say. Actually, we're always in the midst of for creating something that isn't we don't really think that much about it. We're creating our music, we're creating the lyrics, but we don't really care about how much we have evolved and how much different this will sound to the first one. It's just if it sounds different, it's great. If it's the same style as the first one, it's also great.
Yeah, the stuff. I totally agree. The stuff comes together quite naturally. Also the songs, both on the album and on the EP, they're from different writing phases, actually. So some are already a few years old, some are very new, and we just pick the ones that we like best at the moment or that we find the best access to, and the songs come together independently, more or less. A few exceptions, like on the album, we had a trilogy of 3 songs, and those are also musically connected. So, but apart from that, the songs come together on their own. Also, the lyrics, and this kind of concept that you mentioned, or this feeling of a concept, of a sound concept, is basically evolved during making the EP. We had those, we called them signals, those drone tracks, those ambient tracks.
Yeah.
And a guy just did them for us. He made them for us, and like loads. I think he made 20 or something.
Yeah, cool.
And we just picked the ones we liked best, and didn't really know what exactly to do, if it would just be an intro, an outro, or whatever. And then it evolved into becoming like connecting every song, basically.
Yeah.
Like apart from the 2 last ones, there's always a signal in between songs. And this, I guess, I like the effect a lot, because it enhances the feeling of this is something that goes through, it connects the songs. If you have it running in the background, I've heard people say that you don't really know if the whole EP is just one song, or you kind of get lost within it.
Yeah.
Because the EP, it never stops. There's never a moment of real silence, and I think it's a really cool effect. Yeah.
Actually, that is true, because like I was listening to the last track and I was drawn into it, and then I was just so immersed into this. I was like, "Fuck, this is cool," and I'm like, I cannot wait to hear the last signal, because because it flows, but the signals are very different. And then I'm like, and then after that, Spotify played another track, and I'm like, hang on, where's the signal? So, I actually got that experience. And, as you guys said, you guys are, excuse me, but you guys want it organic. You guys create how you guys want to create it. Have you ever like sit down and wondered how you want listeners or people that haven't heard of you guys to experience your music? Is there a way that you want to like get something out of it when they listen to it, or are you kind of like more like this is what we do, and interpretation and the way you want to experience it from a listening's perspective is pretty much a listener's perspective. It's their interpretation.
Basically, like what we said before, we don't create our music and our lyrics with especially intent in mind before that, but
Yeah.
I think we work with what we have. And what I mean is, I mean, there's sort of a musical vision behind it. Of course, like there's this doom, death, black metal mixture. And it's sort of evolved into something where I feel like I hope that it evokes pictures, like images in people's minds, like maybe ocean themed or not, but like a feeling of being overwhelmed by something, like in a positive and negative way, sort of. Like when you feel like, I don't know, music should feel heavy in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's a cliche, but it really should feel like, okay, there's a weight on your shoulder, and it does something negative to you, but there are also places where it opens up and where you feel like, okay, it's kind of a freeing experience, I think.
Oh, cool, man.
But basically,
cool.
we work with what we have.
Yeah. And I think that's probably the best, good way, a good advantage. You work what you got and you create something, what the tools that you have. And I think that this EP is a reflective of it, because I also look at the way you guys have done each track and the way the arrangement of songs, like there were kind of sections of the track where, it's heavy, it is dark. I do get that impression that it's heavy, it's dark, and when these guys do the doom elements, it does create the aura of your music on these tracks. And then when the beats come in, and then it starts to get heavier, and all the death and the black elements come in, it does give it that dark and that dust direction. And then it quiets down, and then you have some arrangements to let it flow in one of those tracks that I've heard earlier. So, I think that these guys have done a great job with the EP, and I think that a lot of people that will listen, that will get a chance to listen to it, I think that they're going to enjoy it, because I think they're going to get that experience. And speaking of experience, you guys got something awesome coming down in summer, in European summer, where all the festivals are coming along. You guys have been part of the lineup for Dominator Festival in Domin in Slovenia, which is kind of like a summer vacation. I had a look on Instagram. I looked, and it's like on the river around the mountains, I think. And just looking at the lineups of the band as well. So, just to give everyone an example of this European festival, they've got bands that are headlining In Flames, Hatebreed, Deicide, Infected Rain, Hellish Burn. A lot of diverse lineup in the metal drama. How is guys? Yeah, man, how exciting is it for this band to be part of this festival? This with a great lineup of bands all over the world.
I don't really know what to expect from it. Actually, we played another festival 2 years ago, the Kirchenbach Open Air. It's the biggest extreme metal festival in Austria.
Yeah.
And it went quite well, but it was a late night slot for us, so it was atmospherically perfect. Let's say let's say it that way. And the slot on Dominator won't be the late night. It won't will be somewhere in the afternoon. So maybe the atmosphere won't be that good. But let's say, yeah, we're looking forward to it nevertheless. I think we we will get something out of it.
I'm like just on Oceanside on this. I'm also really excited to play a festival. And obvious or not obviously, but we applied to play there, so we are very happy that they accepted us. And I know the place there. I think I'm not sure, Ocean, if you've been there, but the place where the festival is set is awesome. Like you said, it's within the Alps, basically, or not directly in the mountains, of course, but in the valley right next to it. There's a river, like a mountain river there, and like a really beautiful slot. And yeah, playing somewhere in the afternoon during daylight is an experience we haven't had actually, because I mean, obviously most shows are indoors, so even if we have an early slot, we can still make it have it dark there. But yeah, we'll see if and how it's gonna influence the atmosphere. We're gonna make, even if it's sunshine, a bright day, we're gonna make it as dark as possible.
Oh, that's awesome, man. And plus, you see out next to the lake, so so hopefully, with the time you guys play, hopefully it's a bit overcast. So it probably gets these guys more of the mindset. I think it will kind of work well. But we'll see what the nature has in store for you guys. But I just want to say, congratulations for getting it. Even that, if you applied as well, for you to be considered, because with all these stacked lineups that you have, and like I'd never been to Europe, so in Australia our festivals are very different. We probably have to get like probably 2 or 3 big headliners to make up, and then they get some, depends how the promoter in Australia operates their festival. But when I look at the European festivals, I see like the top tier bands, then you got the mid-tier bands, and then you have the underground bands. And I think that's a good connection of community. And I think that this festival has really planned a lineup, because the fans are going to see the up and coming bands, the bands that some bands in Europe, they probably do gigs every month or every couple of months, because they don't get that opportunity. So this is a good showcase for some bands that probably haven't been in that position, and then and they get to play with great lineups, as I said. Novova from South America, thrash metal female bands, and all that kind of adds to the band's resume. So when you guys look for more shows in Austria, Germany, or Holland, if you guys go further, it kind of adds that to prestige, and it kind of adds it to your portfolio. So it's it should be something that you guys should be very happy about, and be excited when you get there, when you play. I think, and I think what we heard on the EP, I think that the live experience is going to do really well. So from Australia, we're very happy that you guys are there. So anyone that's watching in Australia that's going to Europe, think of going to Slovenia. In domain, because I'll put the stuff in the YouTube video on the description, so everyone's considering going to that festival. Go check them out earlier in the afternoon, because you guys are going to have a one heck of a fucking set there, from experience from a fan and a band perspective. Have you guys got anything else coming in 2026 as well? Have you got any other stuff in the pipeline that the fans and anyone that's supporting the band that can expect as well?
I mean, on the one hand, we are going to play a few live shows this year. In spring, we're going to do a few weekenders. There's this one festival slot in summer, and we are hoping to be able to do a tour in October, or September, October, in autumn, anyways. And we'll see how it comes together. We're in the middle of booking it, and we are also cooking up something new, but I don't want to spoiler it yet. But we're continuously working on new stuff, basically.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Cool. I cannot wait to whatever that comes up as well, man. Before we wrap it up, just want to let everyone know that their UEP, Death Thrones of a Dying God, is out now via Gracel Records, the Bandcamp page. We're going to put the links in the video description. We've also going to put in the official track of Vortex of the Infinite Despair video, which is pretty much filmed in the ocean as well. So, this is ocean based, and it's a good film clip. And so, if you want to know what immerses to their music, I think that video is a great introduction, because that's how I basically got it from as well, with that music video. So that's in the link as well. And also their social media. So this is the band worth following, worth in your investment. See, when I get excited, I'm humble my words. So I'm really excited about this band and the future of it. I'm just gonna So do you guys want to say any thank yous to anyone, to all your supporters and your fans that have been part of your journey?
Yes, of course. So yeah, thanks to everyone who's interested in what we do. Thanks to our two labels that we are releasing THROES of a Drowning God with. All the bands we shared stage with. It's always a great idea, or a great experience, I wanted to say. Yeah, thanks to everyone who's interested.
Restraining any with the light, makes us more to secrecy.